What's going on, fellas? This video is for Luis and Karolina. They're partners in a tire to fuel pyrolysis process down in Colombia, and they have requested a custom-built burner that can convert from liquid fuel to a gaseous fuel on the fly. Let's check it out. This is a 1 megawatt burner. Alright, let's give this thing a try here. Looks like this might also work for the pig farmer who requested a burner to incinerate pig carcasses. I think your name was Trey. I'll have to check my emails. But this thing definitely works phenomenal up on the high end of the spectrum. It works real good at low settings as well. But for the most part, the output's pretty incredible. Looking at about 600 kilowatts there. It can do over a megawatt. We're only going to see about a megawatt today. That's not standard cubic foot per minute, by the way. That's at about 70 psi of pressure, so you can't look at an air compressor and get that same reading. So this thing's doing pretty phenomenal. This is diesel fuel, and we're just looking at different flame settings here to kind of get an idea of what this thing can do. This is about 360 kilowatts with a fairly high air input. So it's not as big as a flame as it could be. The more air you put into the flame, the smaller it gets. So this could actually be a lot bigger. I believe this is the 1 megawatt setting right here. Oh yeah, a little bit over a megawatt there for you. So definitely capable of upgrading. When you're ready to increase the size of your pyrolyzer, this burner is going to be able to heat up a pretty large pyrolyzer. I mean, that is a lot of energy, guys. Look at that. Pretty fancy. I definitely like the way this combustor works. It's working phenomenal. This is probably one of the best combustors I've ever built right here for the high-end spectrum burners, that is, anyway. By high-end spectrum, I mean burners that are over 500 kilowatt. That's what I'm referring to. This thing is a beast. The main purpose of this burner, as I said, is to enable us to transition from gas. As you see, I just turned the gas on right there. From diesel to gas is what we want to do. So when the pyrolyzer tanks start off-gassing, we can stop wasting the diesel fuel that we're producing and begin to use the waste gas from the process. This is about 340 kilowatts here, 345, right around the area you said that you were needing this to run at, Luis. So this ought to work out for you and Karolina just fine. Also, this thing can burn the gas a lot more efficiently than most burners. If you want to add a little bit of air, it definitely will reduce the soot production and all that. And yeah, tonight we're going to be able to take a look at this thing and get a better look at the flame. The daytime doesn't really do it any justice. So I'm just kind of messing around with it here at this point. That's a propane flame with a lot of air in it. Or wait, there might not be any air in that. I take that back. There we go. So there you have it. Okay, so we got some good data, though we couldn't see the flame, which is pretty much unacceptable. So what we're going to do is we're going to do another video later tonight to kind of exhibit the features of the flame a little bit better. This particular video was more focused on the readings that we got off the instruments. So we're going to compile a little list of the specifications of this burner based on that information. And tonight, we're going to be paying more attention to the flame features. Just to kind of cap it off, what we saw right there was a transition from a liquid fuel to a gaseous fuel, which is one of the benefits of the tire to fuel process. So, there you have it. This video is for Luis and Karolina in Colombia. And they're going to be taking advantage of some of that off-gassing from the pyrolysis process. That's one of the benefits over using a burner versus electric pyrolysis, because with electric pyrolysis, it seems they just vent that gas and burn it. And I guess a flare, they just burn it in a flare. whereas this device will enable the combustion of that gas at an extremely efficient rate. You've seen how I didn't even have the air on at some points, and just the design of the combustor itself acts like a fairly good propane burner that aerates itself very well. So another thing I wanted to point out, this is 1/8 inch 304 stainless steel. The 310 stainless steel is cost prohibitive. It's just too expensive. And because this thing never gets red hot, it will last forever. There's no burning this thing out unless you're just running it yellow hot for a year. So I'm gonna get this information posted, and tonight we'll do another examination, and we'll be focusing on the features of the flame.